Hi guys! So, I received hate mail here, and it wasn't because of this channel, or because I'm gay.
There are other things to hate as well?
Yeah. Some time ago we filmed a video about languages and citizenships, and we were talking about languages.
And citizenships.
Yeah, so I'm from Slovakia originally. I now live in the Czech Republic. I am a Czech citizen. I am not a Slovak citizen anymore because they took my citizenship. But I still speak Slovak. Czech and Slovak languages are very similar to each other, and Czechs and Slovaks understand each other perfectly.
Yeah, it's like two dialects of the same language.
Yeah, it's almost like American and British English, for example. I read about it. It's quite unique. It's called passive bilinguality. And that means that we don't speak the language, like Czechs don't speak Slovak, Slovak don't speak Czech, but we still understand each other very well. So when I'm at work, there are these radio broadcasts where I do weather forecasting for a few minutes. It's a dialogue between the hosts that speak Czechs and I speak Slovak. So just a short weather forecast, and that's part of my job. Just a small part, but yeah, it's there. So when I started working as a meteorologist 11 years ago, I asked the people in radio which language should I speak, and they told me that absolutely Slovak, it's absolutely okay, and it would be more interesting. So I started speaking Slovak, and that was it. But over the years there was feedback sometimes. Some people were complaining.
Some Czechs don't like when people speak other languages, including Slovak. Even though they understand, these so-called patriots think that everybody who lives here should speak Czech.
Yeah, which is ridiculous, because it's a really hard language, and some people are here, for example, only temporary. And Slovaks, like, that's even more ridiculous, because we understand each other, and I think the reason there are languages and people learn languages is to understand each other, right?
Yeah, exactly. But for some reason they always ask, when are you gonna start speaking Czech?
Yeah, this question keeps popping up. So over the years I received a few complaints, like why am I not speaking Czech in the radio? But these were very civilized, usually via email, and I answered, and usually people understood.
But you've received more thank you emails and letters, right, than the complaints?
Yeah, because majority of people enjoy my Slovak. Because a lot of Czechs have family in Slovakia, a lot of Slovaks have family in Czech Republic, so it's very interconnected.
Yeah.
And they like people speaking Slovak.
Yeah, and a lot of Czechs find Slovak sexy.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, so there were only a few complaints over the 11 years. However, that changed some time ago. A letter was waiting for me at work, and I knew immediately that it's not going to be anything good.
Especially when I see that they even translated your name to Czech.
Yeah.
You're not Peter, you're Petr.
Yeah, I'm better now. So I opened it, and of course, hate mail. This is the first time I received like a regular letter that came via post to my work, and here it is. And it's nothing pleasant. I wasn't even sure I wanna make this video because, you know, it's like reliving this moment, and it's not great to read such things.
And of course it's typed and printed on the computer, and there is no signature for some reason.
Of course it's anonymous. So I'm going to translate loosely with the help of Tommy.
Good day.
Yes. How long have you been living in Brno?
Oh, and it's even on first name basis. So the person is using informal you instead of formal you.
Yeah, which you only use with friends that you know, and with strangers and random people you always use this formal you, formal language.
So he's trying to show that he doesn't respect him.
Yeah, that he is above me.
Do you realize you live in a foreign country?
Very foreign. 30 years ago it was one country.
So why are you not speaking Czech, even on the Czech radio? It's absurd when you say in our region.
Yeah, like the weather forecasting. In our region it's sunny.
And you say it in Slovak. Where is this your region? Somewhere in the east.
Somewhere in the middle of nowhere in the eastern Slovakia. This is always like he wants to show me that I belong
To the east.
to the east, and according to him the east is something worse than his place.
And he's blaming you for splitting Czechoslovakia into Czech Republic and Slovakia.
Okay.
It's all your fault.
Yeah. The Slovaks caused that the Czechoslovakia split.
Yeah, so now you have to speak Czech.
Okay, so it's my fault. I was 6 years old then.
If you were of average intelligence, you would at least try to speak the language of the country where you live.
But no, you confident Slovaks. Okay, so now he's blaming some Slovak hosts in Czech television.
Czech TV and Czech radio is full of Slovaks, but how many Czechs are on Slovak TV?
Guys, there are these joint TV shows like Czechoslovakia Got Talent, Czechoslovakian Superstar, and everything. They broadcast it together. It's one TV show with one Slovak host, one Czech host, and they broadcast it together on Czech and Slovak television. And they speak Slovak, they speak Czech, like together. So it's not like they don't understand each other, and it's not like Slovak language is not on Czech TV, and vice versa. And how many students here in Brno are from Slovakia? He's saying that we study for free in Brno, and I don't know, but I studied in Bratislava, so sorry, in Slovakia.
You should apologize to the Czech host on the radio that you don't speak Czech when they ask you for weather forecast.
Yeah, so sorry, no weather forecast today, but I just wanna announce I don't know how to speak Czech.
I pity your colleagues at work that they have to listen to this shitty language.
How can they tolerate this?
I don't know. I would quit in their place.
My boss's wife is from Slovakia.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay, this is part 2. He's adding one more letter.
Yeah. Addendum 1.
Yeah, because in some magazine there was an article, Pretty Czech. And on 3 pages
where you will find out that I'm not the only one who thinks this way.
Yeah, so there are people like him. Good for him.
You came to steal our job, you like Czech money, but you don't like Czech language.
If you were to go a bit further to the west, to Germany, you wouldn't be able to use Slovak language.
That is true.
Yeah.
So that one sentence is, I think, the only one where he speaks the truth.
Yeah, I agree, because German language is completely different. So guys, I wouldn't talk to you in Slovak and expect you to understand, of course.
You would speak German because you can.
Yeah. What else?
So think about yourself. Stop being so self-centered. You're living in a foreign country, so respect it.
Okay.
The end.
I respect the country. I have to say, I obtained Czech citizenship. I did this test where they test my Czech language skills,
It's a pity he didn't leave an email or an address where you can send him your response.
Yeah.
I would prepare some troll answer
Yeah.
for him.
But I just wanna say that it's my region as well, because my grandfather is Czech and he's from the Czech Republic. So I just was born in Slovakia and lived there for many years, but now I'm back.
Yeah? You are 1/4 Czech,
Yeah.
genetically.
And officially I am 100% Czech now, because I have this Czech citizenship and I'm not a Slovak anymore. If only he knew. Okay, so I just wanna explain. This is totally like a British person would live in the US and he would get this letter. Why doesn't he speak American English? This is the, I would say this is the exact example.
Yeah, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's totally absurd, and it still is so hurtful to read stuff like this, because you feel like shit after this, because you are there as a meteorologist. You are not a host on radio, nothing like that. You just announce weather there.
Yeah.
Like few sentences. It's going to be sunny, then there is going to be rain at night, and the temperature is going to be between 21 and 25 degrees Celsius. And that's it. So there is no way people wouldn't understand this.
Yeah.
And it's just a small part of my job. So I want to do my job well and do precise weather forecasts, and that's it. And I don't wanna hear about my language. It's a personal attack, I would say.
It sucks that even if you receive 100 thank you letters and this one complaint, that's what you're automatically gonna concentrate on, right?
Yeah, and I was thinking about this for days after I received this letter. And it's constantly on your mind, like a reminder that you are terrible at life. So it was really mean and rude and hateful, and I had a really bad day that day. I wanted to quit my job, like, I don't need this, you know? And it's really sad that someone took their time to write this letter and to send it to me via post.
Yeah.
And he must have a sad life.
Yeah.
Something happened to him. Maybe Slovaks caused some trauma or something. So it's quite sad, and we should all feel sorry for him.
Yeah. Usually these people compensate for something missing in their lives.
Yeah.
And he obviously doesn't want to hear back from you,
Yeah.
because he didn't sign the letter, he didn't give you any return address.
Yeah. He already made up his mind. And it affects me because, as I keep saying, this weather forecasting on radio is just a small part of my job. And I love weather forecasting, but this kind of hate is not something you want to receive. If he would criticize my weather forecasts, that would be a different story, but not this. So I always feel like I don't belong, either as a gay person living in a straight world, or as a Slovak living in the Czech Republic. And it's not a great feeling, because I want to belong somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah. And the weird thing is that you can speak Czech. You could if you wanted to, but it would be weird if suddenly after 11 years you change the language on the radio.
Yeah, that's the main thing. I was thinking about it a few years ago. Should I speak Czech? Should I start? But that would be like me being a different person. And I received so much positive feedback. So I would disappoint those people just because of few haters. And it would be really sad. And I don't want to be a different person. So I am able to speak Czech. And I can, but it would be really weird. Like, again, a British person speaking British English for 5 years or for 10 years and then suddenly switching to American English all of a sudden. Like, it's part of your identity, you know? People know you with your language. So that would be really weird. So I'm stuck in this position and yeah, I will forever feel like I don't belong.
I bet if you suddenly started speaking Czech on the radio, you would receive a lot of letters, and the radio would receive a lot of requests for you to switch back to Slovak.
Yeah. So you can never make everyone happy.
Exactly. I remember that sometimes you used to use some Czech words instead of Slovak ones, and the radio host asked you to say that word in Slovak because their listeners requested it.
Yeah, that is cute. Yeah. So now I sometimes use a Slovak goodbye word and another time a Czech goodbye word. Because I love the Czech goodbye word. It's naslyšenou, but some people requested that they want to hear a Slovak version, which is do počutia. That they miss it.
So what are you gonna do about the letter?
Well, there is this ritual, Halloween ritual, that says that you should burn things that you don't want in your life. So I don't want to have hate in my life. So I prepared this lighter and this letter is going to burn. Hopefully it's flammable. We'll see about that, but I don't want to see it anymore.
Bye.
Is it burning? A lot of smoke.
It is. I can see flame.
Okay.
Ooh, it's warm here.
Ta-da! Going up in flames.
Where's the voodoo though?
No. There is no negativity at my side. Or there is.
A lot of it.
It's going away with this. Okay. Looks like it's gone.
And so are your emotions.
I feel good now in the smoke. Okay, so hopefully this negativity and hate is over and let's concentrate on something positive in the future.
Yeah.
Okay? So until then, bye!
Bye.